When Adam called you up about Times of Grace, how did that happen? What led to that?
Yeah, that was a moment of like the clouds parting and me sort of being basking in the heavens light. So Adam had pulled his back, really hurt his back, not pulled it. And he had to have surgery, and he was out on his back in London. He couldn't even fly home from tour. Like, he was stuck in London getting work done on his back. And during that time, you know, since he's just one of those people that can't sit still in his brain, he came up with a bunch of music in his head. And when he got home, he demoed a bunch of stuff and sat with it and was like, it doesn't feel like Killswitch material. So he kind of wanted to do his own thing with it, which, you know, he's one of those people that just constantly writes. He throws out more material than most bands come up with in their
Yeah.
that guy. So he gave me a call. He's like, look, I got this music and I just don't think it's Killswitch worthy. It's something else. And I really want it to be my project, but I don't know what to write about. I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? So initially it was me just signing on, like, all right, I'll write a bunch of stuff and help you. Then it turned into, why don't we just put out a record? You can sing, I'll do singing as well, but like, why don't you just take the reins and like write? Like, what do you have to say? So through the course of, I don't know, about 2 years on and off, we're back and forth writing and recording. And during this time, you know, I'm valet parking cars. I'm working at a medical facility full-time, like 60, 70 hours a week. I'm depressed. You know, I've got my outlets with the band here and there. You know, Seamless kind of came and went and, you know, was a financial failure. I started poking around. I had a band called The Empire Shall Fall at the time, which we played weekends. It was nice to have that, but overall I was in a dark place. I didn't know where my purpose was, and I was working a job I didn't like. So having this project with Adam was such a, first of all, a validation of my talents, that somebody like him reached back out and said, you know, I see your value in what you do. We should make a project together. That was huge for me, huge, earth-shatteringly huge. Mm-hmm. And then just to have something to work on, that was far above anything I was doing at the time. It just felt like such a lofty, cool project to be a part of. And then when it came time, you know, for Killswitch to figure out their situation, and they were at heads with Howard and realized that it wasn't going to work out, it just all magically happened where Times of Grace was able to come together, and we were actually able to put the record out after having this record on the shelves for about 2 years. And then once it came out, Adam was like, well, since I'm not doing anything with Killswitch, why don't we turn this into like let's play some shows. So that was huge. And that just, again, changed everything. That put me on the course for like having the confidence and to see my value as an artist. And I owe it all to Adam, for sure.
Are we going to get a third release from Times of Grace anytime soon?
There are B-sides from the last record that never got released. But yeah, the last conversation I had with Adam, his head is in such a different place right now, between, you know, us touring full time with Killswitch, his project with Howard,
right.
Burn Eternal, and then he's also working on probably another Serpentine Dominion record.
Yeah, I heard.
Which I wrote all the lyrics for that record too.
That's awesome, man.
I'd be honored to be able to pen lyrics for Corpse Grinder.
Yeah.
One of the highlights of my career. Again, Adam, thank you. But as far as a third Times of Grace, I mean, I would love that, but I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. I think in Adam's eyes, and I get it, the last record sort of just came and went because we released it during the pandemic. We weren't able to tour on it. It didn't feel like it had the success of the last record, but obviously we weren't able to tour on it, so you kind of can't gauge success based on that. That being said, I will say that I think, for me personally, there's a few songs on that record, Songs of Loss and Separation, that I believe are the best vocal performances in both of our careers, hands down. I think Adam shines as not only a vocalist, but a lyricist, because he took a lot of the lyrics on himself. For the songs that he takes main vocals on, -1, he wrote the lyrics. So he really sort of came into his own. Times of Grace starting out as a project where he asked me to be a part of it because he didn't know how to do X, Y, and Z. On that record, he did what he set out to do. There are songs that he's owning it, and he could have easily done an EP on his own without me. So I think over time, I'm hoping I can convince him that it was a success and that we could do more. And I would love nothing more than to do some live shows with a lineup that we choose. But we'll see. I have hope that it will eventually continue on, but we'll see what happens.
Loaded Radio.